Hey friends, if you are thinking about moving to Chesapeake, Virginia, then I have some things today that you should know before you move here. Let's go. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you are new here, my name is Taylor Hudgens. I'm your real estate agent helping you make Hampton Roads your home. So I wanted to sit down and do this video on Chesapeake because I've had a lot of people reach out to me who are moving to the area, which is super exciting, but they need some help in deciphering the difference between Virginia Beach and Norfolk and Chesapeake and Hampton and Newport News. So Hampton Roads is pretty large, so they're trying to figure out what area works best for them. So today we're going to cover Chesapeake, and then I'll do some more videos on the other areas at another time. So let's go ahead and dive in. So of course I'm going to try to pack as much information as I can into this one little YouTube video, but I do also have some more free additional resources over at realestatetoday.com/Chesapeake. So feel free to check that out whenever you have some time. And I'm going to try to start packing more information into these videos as I can to make this as efficient as possible for you guys. So I know I'm throwing quite a bit at you. So on the YouTube platform, I can't say for Facebook and all the other ones, but on the YouTube platform, I'm going to put chapters down here. So feel free to click around if you want to skip over to different things to do in Chesapeake or different housing in Chesapeake. So I'm going to put all of that down here. So feel free to click around to your heart's delight. So where the heck is Chesapeake? So of course, Chesapeake is covered as one of the 7 cities in Hampton Roads, which is Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, and Newport News. Now, Chesapeake is the larger city on the Hampton Roads southern side of the Tidewater region. So it's going to border most of North Carolina, and it's so large that it actually borders Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and Suffolk. So just to give you an idea of where Chesapeake is compared to other places, it's going to be about an hour to Williamsburg, about an hour and 40-ish minutes to Richmond, and about 35 to 40 minutes to the Virginia Beach oceanfront, just depending on where you are in Chesapeake. A lot of people also move to Hampton Roads because of military relocation. So if you're headed here because you're going to be moving over to Norfolk Naval, you'll probably be about 25 to 35 minutes from Chesapeake, just depending on which part you're headed to in Chesapeake. And if you're headed to Oceana Naval Air Station, you'll probably be about 30 to 45 minutes from different parts of Chesapeake, just depending on where you're at. So as far as traffic goes in Chesapeake, generally speaking, traffic is totally fine. Of course, you'll probably see a little more traffic during rush hour times, during prime times, but even then it's not detrimental by any stretch. I will go ahead and forewarn you though, that just depending on where you are in Chesapeake, you might need to cross a few tunnels. Of course, being in Hampton Roads, we have lots of tunnels depending on your commute. So there is one that connects Norfolk and Portsmouth. So if you're on the western side of Chesapeake, you'll probably need to go through the Elizabeth River Tunnel to get there. It's probably going to be your best shot. But traffic through the tunnel during rush hour is a pain. So just go ahead and tack on a few more minutes to get through the tunnel if that's part of your daily commute. But if you are in Chesapeake and trying to commute over to Newport News or Hampton, there are a few other tunnels that you can take, like the James River Tunnel, that might have less traffic than the Elizabeth River Tunnel. A lot of people moving to the area also ask how the weather is here in Virginia. So to be completely transparent with you, Virginia weather is pretty mild for the most part. We have all 4 seasons. In the summertime, it usually does get a little hot because we are by the water, and so the humidity here is pretty high. So in the summertime, you're probably looking at the 80s, 90s in July and August. In the wintertime, probably mostly hanging around the 40s and 50s. We usually get about 1, maybe 2 snows a year. But what will usually happen is it will rain, and then the temperatures will drop after that during the night, and so we'll wake up to ice on the roads in the early mornings. But that's usually about it. For the most part, it's pretty mild here. We have a wonderful spring and a wonderful fall, so it's really nice to be here in the Virginia areas. But of course, again, our humidity is pretty high being this close to the water, so just be prepared for that. As far as the cost of living goes in Chesapeake and Hampton Roads and Virginia in general, I would say we are slightly below the national average of the cost of living, but generally speaking, we're probably middle of the pack. So So we are going to definitely be cheaper than places like DC or New York or Atlanta. But if you are coming from places like Missouri or Alabama, we're probably going to be higher than those areas as well. So we're probably middle of the pack, but it all really depends on where you're coming from. So I'll also link down below some articles that can help you determine the cost of living depending on where you're coming from and what you can expect. So what the heck is there to do in Chesapeake? If you really like the outdoors and things like fishing or canoeing or camping, Chesapeake is going to be a great place for you. So Chesapeake has tons of parks that you should check out. It's got Oak Grove Lake Park, Northwest River Park, and Chesapeake also has the Great Dismal Swamp, which I know sounds terrible, but it's actually really fun. So in the Great Dismal Swamp, you also have Lake Drummond. So Lake Drummond is this beautiful area where you can go camping as well, kayaking, canoeing, super fun spot. If you're super active, Chesapeake also has one of the very few ice skating complexes around Hampton Roads. So it's called the Chilled Ponds Ice Sports Complex. So of course, if you're on a hockey team or if your kiddos are on a hockey team, they can use the space, but it's also just open to the public. So if you want to just go ice skating for the afternoon, you can definitely do that. So make sure to check them out. Another super fun spot you should try in Chesapeake is the Hickory Ridge Farm. So usually they're open from spring to fall. So in the springtime, they have lots of fruits and vegetables for you to go pick or for you to buy. And then they also have strawberries there at the farm that you can go pick yourself. And in the fall time, they have pumpkins for you to pick. So super cool, super fun. Feel free to take the kids, the family. It's a really good time. Now, if you're in Chesapeake and you just want somewhere to go and relax, there are a ton of really nice breweries in Chesapeake. So my top 3 are Back Bay Farmhouse Brewing, The Garage Brewing, and Big Ugly Brewing. All really awesome spots throughout Chesapeake for you to go take some friends, hang out, have an adult beverage after a long week. Either way, you're definitely safe in any of those spots. Now, if you're looking for some really good spots to eat in Chesapeake, if you're a foodie, there are tons of good restaurants here as well. Of course, Hampton Roads is full of awesome restaurants, but if you're specifically looking in Chesapeake, if you're looking for somewhere to have some delicious brunch, make sure to check out the Egg Bistro on Kempsville Road. So freaking good. They usually are slam packed, so try to get there early if you can, but if not, the wait is definitely worth it. So in Hampton Roads, we have tons of great seafood places, but if you're specifically looking for seafood in Chesapeake, make sure to try Off the Hook off of Battlefield Boulevard. It is so freaking good, and it's actually kind of off the beaten path. Not very many people know about it, so if you want to hang where the locals hang, definitely make sure to check them out. You can also make a reservation, so if you are knowing that you're headed there, definitely highly recommend doing that if you can. Now, of course, if you're looking for somewhere that's going to be able to satisfy everyone in the family, I highly recommend Baker's Crust. It is so good. They actually have a location out in Virginia Beach, but there's one in Greenbrier and Chesapeake as well. They have a wide variety that is for sure going to satisfy every single person that comes to dinner with you. So make sure to check them out. They also have really great mixed drinks. So if you want to have a good relaxing adult beverage with your dinner, this is a great spot for you to head to. Now, if you have little ones in your family and you're looking to get some more information on the schools in Chesapeake, I highly recommend checking out greatschools.org for a full list of school rankings on elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. I'll give you a list of all the high schools in Chesapeake, but make sure to check out that website just for a full list of all the schools and school rankings. But as far as high schools go, Chesapeake's pretty large, so they do have 7 public high schools, which are going to include Deep Creek High, Grassfield High, Great Bridge High, Hickory High, Indian River High, Oscar Smith High, and Western Branch High. So again, definitely check out greatschools.org for rankings on all of those schools, and middle schools and elementary schools. It's probably going to be the best source for you to get some more information. Now, Chesapeake is also a really great area to invest in real estate. So let me give you some background. A lot of people that originally were moving to Hampton Roads tended to start in Virginia Beach and Norfolk. And as all those areas started to get a little more populated, they tended to get a little more crowded, a lot of people started to move out to Chesapeake. So a lot of the homes you'll find in Chesapeake have been built since the 1990s. Now, not all of them, but quite a few of them have been built since the 90s as these newer neighborhoods have been developed and new construction at the time have been developed over the last few decades. So you'll see that a lot compared to Virginia Beach and Norfolk, who are going to have more homes that were built between 1940 and 1960. So again, a lot of the Chesapeake homes have been built since the 1990s, just depending on the neighborhood that you're looking in. In Chesapeake, you'll also find that a lot of the houses have a lot more space. The houses here in Chesapeake tend to be a little larger, whereas in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, it's a little more cramped. So they're just trying to stick in houses where they can, just because of the population. So in Chesapeake, you're seeing a lot of new neighborhoods pop up over the last few years. And a lot of these houses are going to have much bigger yards. They're going to have much bigger square footage compared to Virginia Beach and Norfolk. So with that being said, if you are looking for a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath kind of family home, you're probably looking anywhere between $375 and $500 for a price point. Now, of course, there are houses that are cheaper than that, and there are houses that are much more expensive than that, just depending on where you're looking and what kind of home you're looking for that's going to satisfy what you need for you and your family. Now, if you are looking for a home in Chesapeake in the near future, feel free to head over to realestatetoday.com just to see what homes are currently on the market, what's available that might work for you and your family. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you have any questions about Chesapeake, if you're moving to the area or even leaving the area, feel free to leave those questions in the comments below. I make sure to answer those all personally. If you are looking for an agent to help you buy or sell, I would be happy to help you out. I'll leave my contact information in the description below. But again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.